Hi, guys. It's your host, Skylar Heyman, with a plant-based production. On today's show, Henry Elloso talks about sports recovery and age reversal. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of a plant-based production. Today marks our first episode of season 2, as we have simplified the brand and are going away from the name Into the Blue Zone. So, Henry, thank you for joining a plant-based production on season 2, episode 1.
Thanks. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, so Henry and I met at LA Fitness in Encinitas, and we hit it off right away because of the Flyers. And I had a Flyers shirt on, and you looked at me, and are you a Flyers fan?
Are you from Philly? That's always the question.
Yeah, and it was in Hebrew, of course. So I think it said
was,
"Let's
yeah.
go Flyers" in Hebrew.
Nice.
And then I had my brand, a plant-based production, on the back of it. So that was a perfect segue into now, a couple weeks later, getting you on the show. And then your expertise is...
Right now, it's basically sports recovery, wellness. And as we open up our new clinic in La Jolla, it will be focused on age reversal.
And what's your company's brand name?
It will be Age Reversal MD. And our website is not just up and running yet. As we finalize everything, we'll be in there probably in the next week, I assume. We're just finishing up TI in there, tenant improvements, and getting all our equipment in there. And then out comes our marketing push and getting our staff together.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
Always to launch something on your own. And
it is,
you
absolutely.
were super gracious to bring some of the equipment into my living room and let me try it out for a very extended period of time. And I'm already blanking on the name. What's that method of healing and recovery called?
Yeah, so the two main devices that I incorporate with my therapy sessions are number one, focus compression therapy, which uses pure sound waves to create a low energy extracorporeal shockwave therapy. And the second one is what we call high-powered PEMF, Pulse Electromagnetic Field. And that one sends out high-pulsed energy to your damaged cells. It will find them, as you experienced. And it will take those cells and it'll spin them very, very hard so that the cell surface becomes very permeable. Toxins get flushed out, blood oxygen rushes in, essentially recharging your cells. Yeah.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the experience.
Yes.
And I've never tried it before, and I'm a huge advocate of trying new.
Yeah, these are holistic devices, non-invasive, mostly used by pro sports teams. Our own, we can call them our own now that we're in San Diego Sockers. It was these two devices were part of their an instrumental part of their recovery to getting some of their players back to playing effectively. Yes.
And being Flyers fans from the and where'd you grow up?
I grew up in southern New Jersey in a small town called Cinnaminson,
which is literally the neighboring town to Moorestown, New Jersey, where I grew up. So
absolutely,
we were bonded. We were meant to be here. Years ago, probably before I was even born, when you were in high school.
Yeah.
And now you look like you're still in high school. Probably through all the, regenerative. Devices and just
diet,
good nutrition and good working out. And we were just talking about the age expectancy and where is like our age expectancy going to be with these new devices,
technologies coming out. And as we learn more moving into our clinic with our MD on board, Dr. Philip Milgram, he has some new cutting edge if you want to call them therapies, that can increase your age. Obviously, with diet, nutrition, those are all part of the overall scheme of things to make ourselves younger. Yes.
Where, as you asked how long have I been plant-based, and I said 5.5 years. Where do you rank nutrition and its priority in relationship to health, strength and like active training? Like, there's always been this big push on getting stronger, putting on muscle, and nutrition kind of gets kicked to the curb and doesn't get as much of a spotlight. And then, like, where do you prioritize, hey, you need to be eating well and working out?
Yeah. So, great question. And I've been working out for quite some time now, over 30 years. And what's always kept me in shape was, just working out in general, throwing up weights. Yeah, I thought that strength was always the biggest thing. As I have gotten older, it's definitely been nutrition that's been helping me feel better, number one, and look better in a sense. I could be as strong as I wanted and be still puffy looking in my sense, but for me to get really cut and feeling better throughout the day, it was definitely about the nutrition. Back in the day, as muscular as I looked, I had very high cholesterol, very high triglycerides, and one of the main changes that I made to my diet was essentially getting rid of all the, I guess, bad carbs. If you want to take a look at them, bread, pasta, all the foods that we love, sweets, and just kind of knock them down and save them for maybe a cheat day once every now and then. And I noticed I was just not only shredding the pounds, but my numbers were really dropping as far as triglycerides and cholesterol. So it was a big benefit to where I am now. Yes.
Nice. And have you ever experienced like eating whole carbs as opposed to like refined and processed carbs? Because there's a big difference from what I'm learning. And a couple of my past podcasts, and one of the leading nutritionists in plant-based studies, Colin Campbell, suggests that 80% of your diet should be carbs, which I feel like was mind-blowing to me. And a lot of that information would catch a lot of people off guard.
Sure.
Processed carbs versus whole carbs. Did you ever experiment with like, all right, I need to eat carbs, and if I do, they're really good carbs?
I did, yeah. And so reverted to a lot of always healthy greens. The greener they were, that's what I wanted. But also using or eating sweet potatoes, things that are really healthy for you, rather than some of these processed carbs, as you had mentioned, that claim to be healthy for you, but in a sense aren't. So those are things that I've looked at, but I'm still learning, and obviously would love to delve into some of the products that you produce and give some taste tests to them.
Yeah, it's a confusing world, and just like your devices and your recovery suggestions, you have to try things. Like
Absolutely,
if you only do this and this, and well, you don't really know how that works for you or what it is.
Correct.
And it's kind of like if you're just saying, well, carbs are bad, and I'm talking to the listeners who might have that notion that, hey, I've been told carbs are bad. There's a really big spectrum of carbs. Sweet potatoes are amazing for us. Potatoes are good.
Yes.
And, organic, non-organic, it doesn't really matter. Potatoes are good compared to the processed breads, the processed tortillas, the
pastas,
the chips, the processed pastas.
Correct.
Yeah, and there's so many pastas that are made from zucchini or sweet potato or chickpeas. Like, try those carbs.
Lentils.
And then let me know. Yeah, like everything has carbs in it. Carbs are our main fuel source, according to Colin Campbell.
Sure.
Have you ever heard of Colin Campbell?
I have, yes.
Yeah, he's an older gentleman, and he's just seems like the godfather of plant-based nutrition to me. And that's what I like to call him. So, I think just understand that, hey, carbs are good. You got to understand there's also a huge spectrum to bad versus good carbs. And
100%.
eliminate those bad carbs.
100%.
Eliminate bad.
That's it.
Yeah. So I have a couple sauces here I'd love for you to try.
Okay.
And I got a spoon there, and you take those home with you. So these are my mom's recipes.
Awesome.
amongst a plant-based production, the brand is a food line that we now have 2 sauces called Sky's the Limit, and that's called Simone Caesar, and the other one's called Sky's Thai. My mom's name is Simone.
Awesome.
So I think you should try the Caesar first.
Okay.
And,
douse it on some healthy greens.
No, I think you should try it on that spoon.
Oh, on the spoon.
Yeah.
Can we do it now?
On air, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you allergic to cashews?
No.
So it's cashew-based.
Awesome. Love cashews.
We soak the cashews. Me and my partner, John Swafford, over at the Regal Seagull, are making the sauce. We soak the cashews. We use tahini, nutritional yeast, although not too much. That's very common for what people think of with cheese, and it's great. White pepper, salt, garlic, lemons.
It's amazing. I gotta say, it's amazing. It smells amazing. Is amazing.
Awesome. And yeah, I'm glad I'm making it because now I get to have it. Like, you're not supposed to get high off your own supply.
Yeah.
And you don't want to eat your own stuff. If I'm going to eat my own sauce and I'm eating it with kale and lettuce, then that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and it's got a nice aftertaste, if you want to say that. Yeah, it's got a nice like Caesar aftertaste to it.
Yeah,
it's great.
We've kind of experimented thinning it out. We had it a little thick, and we added just a little secret stuff called water, and thinned it out. And that's a Thai sauce, so that's pretty simple.
Are these mine?
Yes. Yeah, you could double dip.
Okay.
And yeah, those are yours. So this is called Sky's Thai.
All right.
Peanut.
Okay.
Lime juice. Some salt and a sriracha blend. So it's a little spice.
No, but it's not overbearing.
That's the thing. Like, it's not the traditional, like, you go to a Thai restaurant and you have summer rolls with a peanut sauce and it's really sweet. And this is a little more of a kick.
Yeah.
And noodles and rice,
it's like
veggies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
A little bit of kick, but no real overpowering bite to it.
Yeah. So
nice little kick. Perfect. Love it. This is awesome.
That's the starting grounds for our food line, Sky's the Limit. Thanks so much for giving that a whirl.
Wow.
And taking a quick pause. And
awesome. What sizes does that come in?
Just those.
Those.
That's
a 6 ounce?
8 ounce bottle.
Nice.
Yeah, I should know that. And yeah, it's exciting to experience kind of an entrepreneur career path that I think is good for everyone. And who doesn't love sauce?
Exactly.
To me, being plant-based or eating you mentioned a Beyond Burger or a tempeh burger, whatever you're eating, you don't really taste the meat or the fake meat. You taste the sauces and the flavors.
No doubt.
And if you get whatever it is on a piece of bread with a good sauce and lettuce, tomato, onion, you won't even know like what you're eating. You're like, wow, the sauce is really good.
Yeah.
And that's like
exactly
In-N-Out Burger with the Mac sauce, that's kind of what barbecue sauce, it's all about the sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, although I don't know that would overpower the taste that I had from that Beyond Burger.
Well, let's
just goes to say.
Yeah, let's stay away from the veganism as much as possible and more towards the whole food plant-based, and then combine it with our devices and some age reversal, and before you know it, we could live till we're 120, 150.
You got it. Let's aim for that.
Yeah.
And feel not only just age, but feel younger as we're doing it, right?
You ever hear of, I listened to someone talk about the Centenarian Olympics. So someone wants to create an Olympics for 100-year-olds.
100-year-olds and above, right? Yeah, nice. That would be
because
amazing.
It's great to get to 100 if you want to live long. Not everyone does. And
sure.
If you're at 100 and you're not really able to do much, then what's the point? Kind of.
Exactly.
That's kind of a common theme. So he's like, well, how about you pick up a baby, or you pick up your groceries, or you go upstairs? And I thought that was really funny. So now it's like, all right, let's run a half marathon at 100. Or
there you go. Yeah,
the devices you had, I put on my wrist. So I've broken my wrist playing tackle football.
Yeah.
And I kind of maybe separated my thumb skiing a few years ago, and totally sensed it right away when you hit a sweet spot.
Sure. And that is what separates low energy focused or linear ESWT or shockwave therapy versus some of the other ones that are out in the market that claim to be a wave technology or some sort of ESWT. These true shockwave devices on normal healthy tissue, you will not feel a thing. And then as soon as you get to the true source of pain, be a little bit of a toothache. Is that how you
Yeah. You were kind of
interpret it? It was
going
like
over my wrist and then kind of hit a tight spot that
Sure.
was definitely tender.
Yeah.
Very tender.
And so
you massaged over it a couple times with the
probe.
silicone
Yeah, it's a silicone gel.
gel pad, and
with
slowly like deteriorated that tension. And
that is correct. So it's compressing that tissue, increasing the circulation at that site, and then essentially waking up your cells in the healing process.
And then growing up in Cinnaminson, you mentioned you were a Flyers fan, right? So I got my Flyers fan, my Simone Gagne jersey.
Grew up with the Broad Street Bullies.
And you
Schultz, Clark, Barber, Leach was my favorite back in the day. Yes, that goes back and then on through the Lindros days and not so much now, I guess.
So do you remember the Flyers chant?
It changed. It was always "Let's go Flyers."
Slow.
Boom, 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 boom.
Slow and loud.
Yes, and then it became almost almost a Rangers chant. It was
That's exactly what my dad said.
Let's go Flyers. It was different. It
was faster. The cadence was you couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spit and Chicklets. I think they're an NHL podcast. And the Flyers. Flyers need to get back to their roots.
Get back to the roots.
The ugly orange sweaters.
Yes.
All right. We're not a black and I'm wearing a. We're black and orange and black. Get the orange going.
Get the orange back.
Just like the Eagles need to get back to their Kelly green because old school's in. It is coming back. I think not this season, the following season. Flyers need to get back to their Let's Go Flyers.
Absolutely.
It was awful cadence, and you would go to the games, and I don't know why it changed. Someone needs to start a petition, and you couldn't keep up with it.
Yes.
It made no sense.
Yeah. I don't know where it changed, but that's when everything started changing.
Yeah.
Although they still have their same training staff as they've had, for ages, and
maybe that needs a little
boost. Yeah. They've worked with they work with the devices that I have. I've met with them and very welcoming, and they definitely felt it. Hopefully we can work with them in the future, and I'm more than happy to return back to Philadelphia for a trip to kind of guide them through that.
And what other teams are using that may be using like steroids using this device?
It's pretty extensive for both devices. Just about every NFL team uses the focus compression therapy. You name it. Falcons, Saints, Niners, just name the team. They basically have it, and they've used it to get their players back sooner so shorten their recovery time. And the other device, the high-powered PEMF, there's a good amount of NFL teams, the Eagles including, the Titans, the Broncos, Jaguars. Then they go into the MLB, Cincinnati Reds, and our now San Diego Padres also use this high-powered PEMF. A lot with their pitchers. We talked about that for shoulder and elbow. And these are devices that are mainly or have mainly been used in professional sports and NCAA as well for shortened recovery time. And we are launching them at our clinic, which will be in La Jolla, 3252 Holiday Court next to the Sheraton. We'll be opening up there hopefully in the next week. We're just working on TI, as I had mentioned, and introducing it to the public at very reasonable rates, and get you back to your normal activity, whether you're an athlete, whether you're just a weekend warrior, or just have some aches and pains that don't require surgery. We're more than happy to see what you have and see if we can help you in any way.
Cool. And you'll be posting on social media this information?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be posting on my Instagram handle right now, which is Bio-Wrx, Biowrx. You can check out some of the athletes that I've been working with, also some of the work that I've been with the Bud students, Navy SEALs, get them back to normal activity as much as possible as they get pretty beat up. So yeah, we'll be launching a whole slew of things, different celebrity status, athletes, you name it, they'll be coming to us. We have a few lined up already, so we're excited about this opportunity.
As you should be.
Yeah.
It's big things happening, and it's
Sure.
all for the good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we picked La Jolla because it was more centrally located than some of the other locations we were looking at. And it's not deep in La Jolla Village. It's right off the 5, right off of La Jolla Village Drive. Easy access and plenty of parking, and just a beautiful space. So again, we look forward to it starting next week.
Very cool. I'll be sure to spread the word
Yeah.
and bring some co-coaches and anyone else who I think might want the information.
That'd be awesome. Maybe bring some of your samples there. There'll be plenty of people there.
That's a good idea.
We will absolutely have a grand open house, if you will, with complimentary partial sessions, and anyone can try it out. As you mentioned, you really need to be sampling a little bit of this technology to get a feel for what it does. And then from there, decide, is it for you? Can we help out in any way?
And it makes you feel like that professional athlete you dreamt of. It's kind of like you just get
special.
an understanding of like the next level of why the best are the best.
Sure.
No there's doubt. The natural talent. Sure there's the work put in, and then there's the equipment. In golf, it's like, new golf ball, new club for every tournament. And then
exactly
after you're hitting balls, it's like, well, you're not just stretching, showering, you're like getting worked on, and your body's able to just keep performing at the highest possible level. And, for all sports. So
yeah, it's not like the sports of yesteryear, jump in an ice bath, come back out and relax. It's, get active, get those toxins out, get your body to the elite status that it should be at.
If someone can't afford this technology, what are some maybe simple health tips for recovery that you've experimented with and you believe in?
That's a great question. So, number one, to address that issue, what my partner and I were looking at in our facility is not necessarily price per session or packages that encompass a big dollar amount. If you wanted a package of 10 of these sessions and you're looking at, I don't know, $500 to $1,000, is the public going to welcome that? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the new trend is we set a membership fee at a reasonable rate, and then depending on the equipment that you want to use, or depending on your issue, what we recommend, you pay a small copay per visit. So in other words, call it a membership of $150 a month. That gets you into access any of our equipment, and then your copay, say on the PEMF, is $20 every time you want, but it's unlimited. You're not set to, here's 500. You have to pay $500, and that's 5 sessions, and you got to use it by the end of the month. Otherwise, you lose it. I think that model's kind of gone by the wayside, and we want to have something more inviting. And I think that setting that membership with a small copay is more inviting, because then you can go as many times as you want. And quite honestly, by your third visit, your money's already paid for, because, if you compare that to an individual session, it matches it. So we want to keep that low and have people come in more often and experience this as often as possible without paying a high dollar price.
So keeping it affordable
keeping it affordable. Yeah, that's it. Now,
Everything seems unaffordable.
exactly.
I
So
mean,
we
gas
got
is like $6.50 in San Diego. So if you're
please.
listening in some other part of the country, you know,
I heard it's going to 9.
coffee is like $8.
Oh, is it really?
They
I'm not a coffee drinker.
I don't drink much either because of the effects, not because of the price.
Yeah,
Across the street at Coffee, it cost me, I think, an extra $1.50 for oat milk.
that's crazy.
Where is the sense in that? I mean, we
Yeah.
need oat milk, to come down, and then everyone will have these devices in their house until oat milk comes down. And gas is out of control. So
Gas is absolutely out of control, and thankfully with our new spot there, and then also working with Ask Dr. Corey. He's our chiropractor that I work with closely in Solana Beach. I'll be there some of the days. He has one of our technologies there right now, the high powered PEMF with Oasis mat. That Oasis mat you've got to try. It'll blow your mind away. It's everything you feel with the PEMF device. We don't take it to the high power where it's knocking out pain on the spot. It's more of a relaxation device, resetting the mind, the body. So when you get on that thing, you'll feel the effects of the PEMF. Then I'll slap some headphones on you, play some nice spa music. The bass from that spa music translates into vibration therapy. And then the third component is the music itself. It sounds like regular spa music. It's not. It's at such low frequency that it stimulates your brain waves. And a lot of the bud students / Navy SEALs and even some of these other clients that have trialed it, they get into a euphoric state, I should say, maybe chi, and they have lucid dreams. I've had some elderly people that have gotten on it and have woken up sobbing, tears of joy, really, because it takes them back to their either takes them back to their childhood or just overall good place in their mind. So it's very interesting to watch. Now, for me, I can't do it because I'm too type A. You have to be able to clear your mind completely, and if you can do that, then yes, you will feel the effects of this magical mat, as we call it. That's not to say that I don't wake up very relaxed. I just don't fall asleep. But I feel very relaxed when I come off that mat because it's a whole body experience. And everyone should try that. Absolutely.
My chiropractor, Howard Short, familiar with the name?
I am not.
He's in Del Mar.
Oh, nice.
Anything with the Beamer? Have you heard of the Beamer?
So Beamer is also a PEMF.
Okay.
It's also a mat. It's very low powered compared to the device that we have.
What about the mat that you're referencing?
Yes.
Similar power?
No. So ours is much more powerful.
Okay.
So as far as addressing pain and inflammation, yes, our mat will just, I don't want to say blow away the Beamer, because Beamer is PEMF. It will eventually work. Let's put it this way. It'll take less time to get the effects of pain reduction and inflammation with the system that we have than a Beamer mat. But, Pemf in general, working on that cellular level, it's just a great modality to incorporate in your daily
And it
living.
sounds like one's for a specific athlete, the other one's for an active person.
Sure, an active
there's
person.
There's different between an athlete and someone who's pushing the limits day in and day out.
Yeah.
Or on the weekends, and then the other person does a little social pickleball, a little golf, and is not in the gym. How many days are you in the gym?
I'm in the gym working out with weights probably 3-4 days a week.
Consistently,
yeah. And then on the other 3 dadays, I'm running. And
every day active.
Yeah, I've gotten away from long runs just because it beats up my knees and it's not worth it. I've gotten more into shorter runs, maybe 2.5 miles, but incorporate interval sprints. If you want to lose weight, that's the way to do it. Get your blood pressure going. Just the blood flow is just, it's second to none when you do that. It's a very intense workout.
Yeah,
Yes.
for the listeners, if you want to lose weight, go for a 30 minute run. It doesn't even have to be that don't push it, because then you'll be deterred and you'll have something pop up. And go for a 30 minute run, eat plant-based for a month, give it a try, and just be like, wow, that really worked really quick.
Yeah. The other part to it, and you had asked this question, what other potential modalities or anything you can do other than our devices if you can't afford the devices. But I think you can. You just come see us. The other thing is, just stretch regularly, change in diet. That's the key. It's you'll see, or what I've noticed when I got rid of the sugars, the pasta, the bad carbs, all the inflammation in my hands went away. That's the first thing you'll notice is those things have an inflammatory response, at least for me. And as soon as I stopped them, I've had no problems.
Yeah, your skin tightens.
Skin
tightens around my wrists and forearms.
Yeah.
Your ankles.
Yeah.
Where
and the joints, they just don't ache.
No. Yeah. It's been a miracle.
It has been.
All right, so let's switch gears and go for a little longer.
Okay.
I have a challenge that I've been asking to a lot of my guests.
Okay.
And it is food related. It's called the PlantBased Challenge.
Okay.
All right. So for one meal a week, you have to eat. Are you up for the challenge?
I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. You're a yes guy. For one meal a week, you got to eat it doesn't have to be raw, all whole food plant-based.
Okay.
And I'm going to extend that because you're type A. For 1 day a week. 1 day a week. So that's, 15%.
Yeah.
1 day a week, your whole day is whole food plant-based.
So I'm definitely up for that challenge. Just
hey.
if you can just make me a list. So I
how about you take the sauce and you go avocado, lettuce, and whatever else in the salad. Eat as much greens as you can. Like you said, greens you should overdose on greens.
No doubt.
And then, you go sweet potato, rice, or noodles with some veggies, and you can mix in some beans going back to the salad. There's some garbanzos in there.
Awesome.
There you go. That's your meal.
Yeah.
Guided. Nice.
And
there's a lot more than
you
that.
want 1 day, or
one
do you want
the
whole? Yeah. So you want the whole day
for the week.
And
I'll see you at the gym, so I'll be able to hey, how's it going with the challenge?
No doubt.
And and would love to see. Again, I don't know if it's more for the reason why I'm asking is for you to see if you could do it.
Yeah.
Without, some people have this emotional response to their nutrition and diet and meat, mainly meat consumption, or I would have emotional reaction to meat or not meat.
Yeah.
And just being able to control what you put in your mouth. And I think that's really important. I listen, if you can't control what you're putting in your mouth, how could you have disciplines outside of life? And
100%. I could, I will do that. Number one. And I just got those noodle extractors for vegetables.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about?
Something that spirals?
Spiralizer. That's it. Yeah. So I'm
zucchini,
squash.
I think that would be great on a sweet potato. Like you just tie just right on sweet potato.
Yeah. What would you do with that sweet potato? Would you blanch it for about a couple minutes, or do you eat it raw?
The sweet potato?
Yeah.
I just boil sweet potatoes.
So you blanch it.
Yeah.
And
that's blanching.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to overboil it. Just blanch it and then put it into some ice water and then bring it out and then toss that in there. Absolutely.
And some broccoli. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty simple. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's what I'm trying to go back to. I created this whole brand and I'm trying to bite off more than I could chew. So we're going back. This is a plant-based production with your host, Skylar Heyman. This is Mr. Henry. Henry
Henry Elloso.
Elloso.
Company is Bio-Wrx on Instagram right now, and we will be kind of transforming into Age Reversal MD. Look for that as I post in the near future, probably in the next couple of days.
Very cool, and we'll catch up down in La Jolla, if not at LA Fitness prior. Last thing, and then we'll move on. I've been asking this to every guest.
Yes.
The key to life.
Key to life is, and I've learned this over the last year, is quit your worrying and just be happy and go with the flow.
Nice. I like how that's what it is.
Yeah, because there's a lot of worrying going on right now.
Yes.
A lot of unknown.
I worry a lot about stuff that
when you quit your worrying and you just do what you want to do and do what you have to do, all that goes away, and then you find an inner peace.
Are you a man of faith?
I am, yeah.
And
born and raised Catholic.
And do you feel like your trust in a higher being in God is giving you the freedom, the peace of mind?
100% over the last year, especially. Yeah.
Is there a particular moment or was it more just a consistent practice?
It was just a consistent practice of trying to fight everything, and just being angry all the time.
Yeah.
Being from Philly, you're always angry.
Oh man. People don't know. That's enough. People really don't know how obsessive and passionate Philadelphia sports fans are.
100%.
There is no other place that is like Philly. New York doesn't compare. New York has too much going on.
Yeah.
They have too many teams.
LA, same way.
They have too many teams. LA is not even on the same.
No, it's not on the same.
The 24/7, 365 obsessed fan craze in Philadelphia, you only know if you're there, and it's amazing and you love it, and then you realize there's more to life, and this is not that healthy for my insides, for my mental.
That's it.
And it's like, man, I'm not really doing much with my life. I'm just watching these athletes play baseball, play football, basketball, and hockey, and before you know it, you're just yelling at the TV for your whole life, and
that's it.
You're worrying about, are we going to win this game? And you have zero control.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of worry in Philadelphia sports fans.
There's no doubt about it. And I think just moving back here to beautiful San Diego has helped with that quite a bit. I mean, this is supposed to be May Gray, and it's, sunny and 66 outside.
Yeah.
And it has been this whole past week. So, just trust in the one above and let the worrying go out the door, and you'll live so much more happier. That's how I've been living in the last year for sure.
Love it. Great way to end. Thanks so much, Henry, for taking some time out of your afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure here.
Really appreciate it.
Come visit us when we open up shop. That'll hopefully be next week.
All right. I think I have some morning practices, so afternoon I can make it.
Yes, and then absolutely to all you followers out there, we will have a grand open house for our clinic in La Jolla. That address again is 3252 Suite 11 in La Jolla, 92037, but not deep in the village, just off the 5 there, right by the Sheraton. Hope to see you guys there.
Cool. Henry, thanks so much. Again, this is Skylar Heyman with a PlantBased production.
Thanks again.